Quest presents an unabridged recording of The Promise by Michelle Vernal, narrated by Katherine Press. The beginning. Isabel's heart felt as though it would jump right out of her t-shirt as she crouched down beside the mangled car. Later, she would realize it was down to adrenaline. Now, though, she leaned in through the window and managed to cradle the elderly woman's head with her left hand, leaving her right hand free to stroke the sparse floss of hair. She was careful to avoid the gaping wound from where the blood ran free. The woman's breath was faint and jagged, while Isabel's came in short puffs. She felt as though she'd fallen into a nightmare. Less than a minute ago, she'd been staring out the passenger window of the two-berth juicy van she was sharing with her friend and travelling companion, Helena. Her mind absorbing and trying to imprint the beauty of the backdrop the Southern Alps provided against the rushing waters of the turquoise river they were crossing. New Zealand had lived up to its hype, she'd been thinking. Spotting the now familiar sight of a hawk, soaring low in search of something to eat. It was amazing how much diverse scenery could be packaged up inside such a small country. In just 4 weeks, they'd seen volcanoes, boiling mud geysers, rainforests, a glacier, fords, mountains, rivers, and beaches to die for. But the highlight for Isabel had been the sperm whale in Kaikoura. It had risen out of the water as though to say hello, as she leaned over the railing of the whale watch boat. She'd been blown away by its size and grace. That moment was one she would never forget. Yes, she was so pleased that she hadn't flown straight home from Australia when her work visa was up, like so many of her fellow Brits. They were missing out by not coming here, she'd mused, as the hawk swooped. She'd met Helena, who hailed from Freiburg in Germany, through the pub where she was working, in Melbourne's hotspot of St Kilda. It had been while clearing tables and tallying up tips that the two girls had hatched the plan to spend a month traversing New Zealand before heading back to their respective countries. What a trip it had been, she'd thought, rubbing her temples, which were tender after last night's efforts at Pog Mahone's in Queenstown. Helena might have looked like butter wouldn't melt, with her big brown eyes and sensible short haircut, but she was naughty, and they'd had a right laugh together. They'd not had a moment's snippiness either.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?